it's bright and early, and welcome to my day. Today I'm going to take you along on my day and what all the things that I work on. So I have a lot of tomato plants and they're getting really large. I recently bought this and it's called bio tags, or it's bio string. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's made for tying tomato plants, and the reason why it's biodegradable. I am so tired of having the metal ties. They're like the twisty ties, because so many times when it's time to harvest my tomato plants and I pull them out of the ground, you know, to get rid of them, well, then these twisty ties are laying all over the garden. They get stuck in my rototiller, and this is biodegradable. So, and it was really cheap too, and it's a lot of it. So I thought that way, if this ever falls in the ground, I don't need to worry about it because it's biodegradable. By springtime, it would be already, by spring, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. I think you understand. By springtime, it will be all like gone. I tried to be so prim and proper in my videos, but sometimes, oh, that Dutchy, shy girl just seems to come out, right? You can only be who you are. That is for sure. Look behind me of my potato plants. Everything is just bursting at the seams. It's beautiful. My garden is beautiful too. Yeah, it has been my year. You know, I had a subscriber say, Tessie, I think the year 2022 is your year. And you know what? She's right. This is my year. Last year wasn't such a good year now, was it? And the year before was just simply awful. But thank goodness we do have a few good years sprinkled in with all of the traumatic and dramatic years, right? And so this is my year, and my year is of making things happen with my hands. So, you know, it's a lot of work, but oh, it's just absolutely so beautiful. All of my plants are heirloom. They come from Thomas Jefferson's gardens. They come from Tasha Tudor's gardens. They come from 18th century heirloom museums, their gardens. Everything in my garden is authentically heirloom, and I love it. I couldn't be happier. So let's go down and I'll show you, and let's see if we can get this to work. We are experiencing 2 days of cool weather, so I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can in these 2 days. All right, let's see how well this works. While I'm out here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do all of it. Last year, I was in the hospital and I couldn't do what I should have been doing. All right. I think it's perfect. I love it. Honestly, this might take me a couple hours, so I'll just gonna have to turn the camera off between working on it. I put coffee grounds on my tomatoes, and wow, did that make a difference. All right, I'll see you guys in just a little bit. I got half of them done. Whew. It's such a pretty day though. I know it's cloudy, but there's no humidity. Oh, it's amazing how much work you can do when it's cool. Before I say goodbye to all of you, I'm going to answer a question. I have so many people ask me, well, how do you keep all the weeds out of your garden? Or how do you keep the edging so nice and our property? How do you keep the weeds? Well, most of the time we pull them by hand, and the edging was done with a shovel. So we edged our whole property with a shovel. Now I do love tilling my garden. I do till my garden and I love doing that. But right now, as I was going through all of my tomatoes, I was pulling the weeds as I seen them. So right here where I'm at, I just take my hands and I pull the weeds by hand. Now I do run the tiller between rows, but it's mostly done by hand. And people are like, by hand? Yeah. We just pull the weeds out by hand. Hubby does the property along the house and everything, and I am the garden. I do the garden. Another question so many people ask me, why isn't your hubby out in the garden? Shouldn't he be doing the garden work? Well, that's a really good question, because I get asked that all the time. And actually, in the Mennonite traditions, the woman tended the garden and did the harvesting and did the preserving. That's how we were taught and raised. While the men did all the outside work, like the field work, or the men went out and earned a paycheck, the women tended the gardens. Now, in most Mennonite homes, the man tilled the garden, and then the women would plant it and would harvest it, and of course do all of the canning. But I love tilling my garden. I have always done my own garden work. Now, hubby did help me this year since he's retired, but generally this is how we were raised. So a lot of the things that we do may seem different to what you're used to. We don't have the gender roles where everybody is equal to a certain degree. Our gender roles are a little different. The woman took care of the home, did everything that had to do with the home. The man worked away from home, brought the paycheck in, and the man was the one that was in charge of the finances. That's how we were raised. Now, of course, that's not saying that there's no women that take charge of the finances, but generally that is how we were raised. And that's just something we're used to doing. And hubby and I enjoy our difference, the role that he has and the role that I have. It works out perfect for us. And now it's time to clean up. So big kettles like this, it's just impossible for me to clean in the house. So I take it out here and I clean it. All right, I washed the baggies that the berries were in, and I'll go hang them in the canning garage. They're pretty dry. I want to make sure they're totally dry. We can use them to start all over again. Yep, my ginger's done. So I'm finished with this. That all got dried up. Now I'm gonna take this out because it gets really hot in here. I sure wouldn't want this to catch on fire. Yeah, I never thought of that before. I better not do that. And let's clean this up. Perfect. All right, go put this back in the garage, and now I have my ginger. Take care, everyone. See you guys tomorrow.